Here in this video, we are talking about a thermodynamic process called isothermal process. So what do you mean by an isothermal process? The process in which temperature of the system is kept constant. So throughout this process, there is no change in temperature, delta T equal to 0. So how do you keep the temperature of a system constant is interesting. That how do we do that is, we keep the system perfectly conducting to the surroundings. Perfectly conducting to the surroundings. Means what? When you have a system, say this is a system, we do allow the heat to come in, or we do allow the heat to come out, so that whatever the heat that the system has, it always keep the temperature of a system constant. Whenever you got an extra heat, it was sent out. Whenever the heat required is less, it was taken in such a way that its temperature is kept constant or change in the temperature is made 0. That kind of a process is called as a isothermal process. One more important thing is to keep this temperature constant, we do this process very slowly. It's a slow process because if you do it quickly, you don't give enough time for the extra heat to disperse, so that will change the temperature. But we want to keep the temperature constant. So this process has to be done very slowly. So it's a slow process. One more thing is, as temperature of this gas is kept constant, Boyle's law is very much valid here. What is Boyle's law? At constant temperature, pressure is inversely proportional to volume, or pressure to volume equal to constant. Anyway, being the isothermal process, Boyle's law temperature is anyway kept constant. So Boyle's law is definitely valid. So in isothermal process, Boyle's law is well valid, and PV graph is a normal graph that we get it in Boyle's law, right? So to conclude, the process in which temperature is kept constant throughout the journey is called isothermal process. For that to happen, system has to be perfectly conducting to the surroundings, and it has to be done very slowly. As temperature is kept constant, Boyle's law is valid in this process. PV equal to constant, or we can say when the pressure and volume varies, P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. What all that we have applied for Boyle's law and the problems that we have solved in expansion of gases, what all the ideal gas Boyle's law rules are there, they are very much valid here. This is how we can talk about isothermal process. There is another process called adiabatic process. We will discuss about that process at a later stage, right? Yeah.